Thanks a lot for staying with us. The big story we're tracking is also the brutal stabbing of Karnataka College student Neha by her former classmate Fayaz that has shocked the country. Neha, 23-year-old, Masters of Computer Application student, was attacked by Fayaz on the campus of BVB College on Hubballi on Thursday. CCTV footage showed him stabbing Neha multiple times before fleeing. Now, the woman died of multiple stab wounds even as Fayaz was apprehended and arrested later. Neha's father said Fayaz stabbed her out of anger because she turned him down. Congress, on the back foot on the issue of law and order in the state, has already denied any love jihad angle, even though investigations have barely begun. The BJP has hit out at the Siddaramaiah-led Congress government, accusing it of playing politics of appeasement at the expense of law and order. Let's take you through some of the CCTV visuals that have been captured. And this is the new facet emerging in a lot of these brutal murders, where they do get captured on CCTV, and this is one of those cases. 23-year-old Neha being brutally stabbed multiple times by Fayaz in broad daylight in front of many people, stabbed to death by her former classmate in Hubballi on Thursday. The victim was only 18 years old, daughter of a Congress corporator, Niranjan, succumbing to stab wounds. Moments after Fayaz stabbed his former batchmate, he was dragged by the collar by some on the campus and was caught. We're showing you exclusive footages of him being apprehended. That's the man in the cap who's being held by his shirt behind his back. You can see blood stains on his shirt, and he was apprehended by those around him and later handed over to the police. The campus murder sparked outrage, with BJP student wing ABVP demanding justice for Neha. Thousands of students participated in demonstrations, blocking of roads and calling for a college band in Hubballi because of what has transpired. Let me tell you a little bit more of what we know about the killer so far. Fayaz is a 23-year-old MCA dropout. He belongs to Savadatti in Belagavi district. He was a batchmate of victim Neha during this MCA UG course, which he eventually dropped out of. Now, Neha was being pursued, we are being told, by him, and she was, as per the family, had refused Fayaz's overtures. Neha's parents, in fact, have come to the media even saying that they had warned Fayaz of staying away from their daughter. Now, this case has brought back some horrific memories of similar cases that have shocked the country in recent past. In most of these, there is barely any provocation, the brutality is telling, and most of the perpetrators are extremely young men. Of course, their victims are also extremely young. In one such case from June last year, Kiran Devi was smashed to death by Sikandar Ahmed in UP's Fatehpur. Ahmed confessed to the crime and said that he killed Kiran because she refused to have sex with him. You would remember this one from Delhi last year. 20-year-old Sahil stabbing 16-year-old Sakshi over 20 times, bludgeoning her to death. This because they were having some relationship troubles. In Coimbatore in 2022, jilted maniac stabbed classmate to death and then committed suicide. 21-year-old Azim Ajmal killed himself after stabbing his classmate Shruti Menon and burning her body using kerosene. The victim's 48-year-old mother, Lata Menon, also sustained injuries because she tried to protect her daughter. 16-year-old Ankita was burned to death in Dumka by a jilted man, Shahrukh Hussain, who had been allegedly stalking her for the past fortnight. And a 19-year-old, just married Hindu girl, Vaishnavi Ingle, was murdered by her stalker, Sheikh Altaf Sheikh Babu in Jalna district, where she was out shopping with a friend, and this happened in July 2020. So I'm not going too far back, mind you. These are just cases that have grabbed the headlines, and the big ones because of the sheer brutality that have grabbed the headlines over the last 2 to 3 years alone. So are these just jilted maniacs, men who have gone crazy, or is there something more? Of course, the term that is often used to describe these cases, which are of interfaith nature, is love jihad. Is that really what's happening? We'll take that to our guests.
ಯಾವುದು ಮರಡುಗಳಾಗಿದ್ದಾವೆ ಅವು ವೈಯಕ್ತಿಕ ಕಾರಣಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು.
हमारी ये इंतजा होगी कांग्रेस पार्टी से कि वो धर्म का चश्मा उतारकर अपराध को अपराध की नज़र से देखे, बलात्कार को बलात्कार की नज़र से देखे, बजाय ये कि इसमें भी हिंदू मुस्लिम करें.
Madhu N. Rao, spokesperson of Karnataka BJP, is joining us. Sanket Yanagi backs the Congress party, is an advocate with us as well. You know, Sanket, what is really telling, and I think what really is the smoking gun here is that the Congress government, the likes of DK Shiv Kumar, who are top ministers, have already come out and say, oh, no, there is no love jihad angle. Now, how do they know? Why are they pronouncing the verdict in this case even before the police investigate? So, gets even 24 hours to investigate. Aren't they not shielding the accused in this case because of the community he comes from? Are they not trying to tell the police which way the investigation should go just because the headlines could be embarrassing for them?
Or either the BJP person or people or from the Congress or from any other party, in my opinion, it is too early to jump the gun when the investigation is on. If someone says that it is happening because of A or B reasons before the investigation is complete, or if someone says that it is not because of A or B, it is because of C or D reasons, this is also not correct. When the investigation is taking place, one has to allow the fair investigation. Once the investigation reveals certain more information, which may go to different dimensions too, if required, or if it is heading towards certain more intensity, depending upon the intensity of the crime, that he alone is involved or someone else along with him is involved, or is there anyone supporting him, or what cause he is supporting or he is being supported. All those things have to be investigated in multiple angles by the investigating agencies. One has to give them the free hand.
No, but is it not sufficient, Madhu and Rao, that the family itself is saying there's a history between the two? This man was pursuing this woman. She was refusing his advances. The family had intervened. I have read a report where the family even stopped this girl from going to college so that she doesn't come face to face with this boy. And the one time she goes for her exams, this happens. So I'm not sure what is left to imagination. Why should I not believe the version of the family?
Shivani, good evening. It's a horrific incident what has happened in Hubballi. Our condolences to the whole family, point one. Point two, I just heard Mr. Sanket counting saying that it was very early for people to come and say. Mind you, let him in. I just want to tell you one thing. It's a very serious incident. Please at least listen to her, the victim's father. Victim's father has come out in the open, who himself being a Congress corporator. He himself is telling this is a case of love jihad.
No, he hasn't said, no, 1 second. Let's not misquote him. He hasn't really said love jihad either. He hasn't said love jihad either. Now, I'll come to the issue of love jihad in just a bit, but let's just discuss it on the face value.
Shivani, let me finish.
Let us not
kindly give me the courtesy.
Yeah, Madhu Rao, yes.
The point is simple. As many number of words he has expressed, he has come out in the open and has mentioned it. My only question is, why does the Congress government's top ministers come out in the open and give the judgment even before it's being investigated? Point one. Point two, what does Mr. Siddaramaiah think about himself? He's the chief minister of the state, for heaven's sake. Is he the forensic expert to come out in the open and say that no, it is only a matter of personal issues? This is not done. How can a Parameshwar, who is the home minister of the state, he comes out in the open and gives a statement? I really don't understand what is happening.
Okay. Can I come to the issue of love jihad? Because BJP leaders have been known to jump the gun too in labeling any case that has interfaith situation, particularly the man belonging to the Muslim community and the woman victim belonging to Hindu community, labeling it as love jihad. Now, Madhu and Rao, as I understand, and I'm not dismissing what is being called as the phenomenon of love jihad, because I think more needs to be known on this, but the premise of the issue of love jihad is that there is some larger conspiracy by way of which Muslim men particularly target Hindu women with an eye to convert them. Now, should you also not hold your horses in this case before
Shivani,
labeling it love jihad?
Shivani, you ask a very pertinent question for which I'll just give you an answer. Just a minute, please, kindly. You mentioned all those incidents. We were just listening to you.
Yes.
I mean, is it not the prerogative, rather to say the duty of the police to go also into those aspects also? I mean, what prevents the police from getting into those aspects and investigating it? You're just finishing it off at the stage one itself. Why not you investigate it? I mean, for heaven's sake, is it a fact? Yes, it is a fact. Is it a fact that it is from a different community? Yes, it is from a different community. And all are being killed are from the particular community? Yes, it is from a particular community. What stops for the police from investigating in that angle also? Why is that we should only think from a particular angle? I am not able to know. The reason why we
Love Jihad was for
is,
cases where Hindu women.
Shivani,
One second,
Shivani,
Madhuji, one second. For the benefit of our viewers, Love Jihad was the phenomenon for cases where non-Muslim women were being pursued by Muslim men, particularly from the angle of marrying them, converting them. This doesn't seem to be that case.
We do not know it. Let it be investigated. When the victim's father has told in as many number of words, am I to tell something, or can Sidramaya tell something? I mean, let me tell you something. When we were in the government, we had passed an act, Karnataka Protection of Right to Freedom of Religion Act. Why don't you investigate under that act? What bars you from investigating under that act? Why?
Well, the Congress government has been opposed to that act.
There is a law. You need to follow it. Can I say the law was passed by the Congress government, so I do not follow the law? Is that the procedure what the Congress is telling all about? Is that the case? Then we'll also do the same thing. Can we say that? That's not the case.
Okay.
The point is simple. Let them investigate in a fair manner. The reason why we have apprehensiveness about this government is they are showing this appeasement politics. I mean, let me make in as many number of words very clear. There have been attacks against Hindu activists and Hindus. That's a fact which we need to note it.
One second. Interfaith violence is not in question here. And interfaith, couples violence is also not in question. There are horrific cases that I have got. One second. Can we run those visuals, those cases as well? Now, there is a pattern emerging. And Sanket, I think the fury sometimes is that people are refusing to recognize the pattern. Exactly. Where there is extreme brutality of these young Muslim men butchering their young female partners from the Hindu community. We don't hear of opposite cases like these. We don't hear of intra-community cases like these. This is a one-way flow. And the attempt to deny the pattern is what infuriates some.
So first of all, each case would have its own history which requires an investigation. After investigation, if the charge sheet or the material available on record reveals that there are similarities in modus operandi in multiple cases, then the question that would arise is as to whether any other agencies also working with it with the same pattern. If so required, the investigation needs to be conducted in that direction too. And if there are certain other people other than the main culprit involved, that also needs to be investigated. Everything from every corner requires an investigation. It cannot be just on the basis of the individual murder.
But do you feel the Chief Minister and the Deputy Chief Minister, within a few hours of this case coming to light, jumping the gun, coming out and kind of trying to play down this case, that invites the charge that the Congress is uncomfortable only because the accused is of the Muslim community? That the Congress jumps in to appease a certain section and it has a history of looking the other way?
There are two incidents and two important aspects here. Number one, now it is the time of an election. BJP is jumping the gun. In order to defend the police action, or in order to defend that the government is also functioning properly and investigating the case, the government or the party in power would also jump the gun sometimes and say that whatever is being said with the opposition is not correct, and they may say sometimes even what is not required at this stage of an investigation.
Okay.
But in my opinion, either it is a BJP or the Congress at this moment need to be fair and allow the fair investigation to be proceeded with. Jumping the gun just because of the election and disrupting the peace may not be the need of an hour, is my opinion.
Madhu, the final 30 seconds. Don't disrupt peace.
Shivani, the reason why we are very apprehensive about this government is simple. The very same Siddaramaiah sir as well as Mr. D.K. Shivkumar have come out in the open. We have seen in the terror cases how they have safeguarded, rather to say they have come out in the open and told, even before the investigation has started, switching sides, rather to saying that the victim is not, he is from a particular community and he is my brother, and saying that they have not done anything. I mean, let them stop doing it. The moment they stop doing it, there can be a fair investigation is what we are asking. The point number two, what I am telling is, let there be some seriousness in investigating these cases in a particular angle also. Why should not there be a investigation in a particular angle is what we are asking. And now they're talking about appeasement politics. You know what, Shivani, they've gone a notch ahead. It is not about appeasement politics. It's about quid pro quo. You voted for me, so therefore don't worry, I'm there. This sort of a answer is there. Therefore, people are very easy. They're taken it very easy. There's no law and order. I mean, there is a absolutely mayhem in the Karnataka. If you see, as we speak, in Mysore, there is an incident which has taken place. In Vidyaranyapura, there has taken an incident which has taken place. So therefore, why should we not question the government? Why can't you do the investigation in a particular manner?
All right, maybe a central agency will have to look at it. Remember, Love Jihad emanated from Kerala actually, and Christian groups made the charges first. NIA did investigate it, and the investigation did reveal a pattern, but then there was so much politics on this case. I do thank our guests for joining us. We hope there is some justice soon as far as Neha and family are concerned. Time for